Good morning. Hope you have a great Friday today. It's going into the weekend. I hope you're finding yourself back in church and enjoying the fellowship as you're best able to do. But make the most of that. But in the meanwhile, let's continue with our devotions. We're looking at the mountain of defeat. I don't think there's anybody out there that would not understand what that feels like. It's a mountain or it's a valley, whichever one you prefer. But it's this mountain of defeat that Jesus says has got to go. For you to fulfill the purpose of God, you've got to be able to see beyond this mountain to the place where there is victory. Get rid of your defeatist attitude. Don't be like the children of Israel in the times of Ezekiel, when Ezekiel spoke about this and they're saying, we don't buy that. We are so defeated, we don't get Jehovah Sabaoth, and we're in a mess. And their psychology was tragically down because they didn't understand who God was and yet still is and forever will be. He is Jehovah Sabaoth, the one who walks with us. But I want to take you to the third aspect of our equipment for our armor that we've been talking about. We've spoken about the belt of truth. Pull it all in, get your life in order, get your affairs around you right. If there's things you need to do, if there's habits, if there's broken promises you need to make right, those things are going to stop you when you try to fight a decent fight. Sort those things out. Use the belt of truth. Tie it all up. Then we spoke about the breastplate of righteousness, imputed righteousness, which is God covering my sin, God taking my sin away and welcoming me to that party like that king did and rejecting me if I do not wear that robe. And then the behavioral righteousness, which is practical righteousness. It's basically just a biblical lifestyle and a commitment for us to live that. But I want to take you to the shoes today. Call them the shoes that are shod with the gospel of peace. And I'm thinking, what has peace got to do with this whole thing, and why would they be on our feet? Well, I know that we are agents of peace to the world around us. We take the gospel of peace to people. But there is something that you cannot give unless you have it, and one of them is peace. I cannot give you peace unless I have it myself. And I cannot have peace in myself unless I have peace with God. So there is, and has always been, generations down, a war that has taken place between God and between us over the issue of sin. So we need to find that peace with God, and then we can put on the gospel of peace. But it's this peace that takes us into situations that others would fear to walk in. You've got to have the right shoes. Now, anybody who's ever been in the army will know the terror of having the wrong shoes. Go on a march and have the wrong shoes that are too small and you get the blisters and you walk for 5 miles and you can't walk anymore and you've still got 50 miles to go. You're in a bad place. You see, Satan comes with incredible subtlety. Satan, the Bible gives us a picture, comes in different shapes and forms. And when you've got the gospel of peace, you can stand on that thing. You can walk on that thing and be confident that you can move that thing aside. The first picture of Satan is that of the subtlety of a snake. You can stand on that snake when you're wearing those shoes. Satan came with a subtlety in the Garden of Eden and challenged Adam's thinking. Did God really say? He didn't contradict God. He didn't say God did not say. He just said, did God really say? And he challenged at the point of just throwing a seed of doubt in there. Then we see Satan described as a wolf who comes in sheep's clothing. And he can con you, hey? He can look and he can make you look like something that he's not. So we have to be very aware, and the shoes of peace will help us to walk through the wolves that Satan is and come out the other side appropriately and strongly. He also comes, as a lion, a roaring lion. Sometimes you have to run. I don't want to fight with a lion. Don't fight with Satan. He's bigger than you. He's stronger than you. Sometimes you have to run from him, like Joseph did when Potiphar's wife wanted to pull in with him, and he ran from her, and he had his shoes on. And he could run through the thorns and the thistles to get away from the lion. Don't think you can fight the lion, people. When I hear a lion, if a lion's coming up behind me right now, I know little things about lions. My first thing is to run. It's the right thing to do, but you've got to have the right shoes on so that you can get away appropriately. And then the last thing that Satan comes as, he comes as a snake, and in the subtlety, he comes as a wolf, in sheep's clothing, conning you. He comes as an angel of light after he's come as a roaring lion. An angel of light. I'm thinking, hey, I quite like an angel of light to come into my situation. And yet the subtlety of Satan is such that he can come in, and Satan can sometimes look like the answer to your prayer. And you think, wow, God has answered my prayer. Just be very careful, people. Check it out. You may have to use your shoes of the gospel of peace to be able to weather some of the storms of Satan's subtlety. He comes as an angel of light. He promises so much, but delivers nothing but pain. And we need those shoes to help us to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil and retain our peace. When we stand against these things, the wiles of the devil and the roaring lion, the first thing that goes out of the window is our peace. We need the shoes of peace. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in the coming days, of what it means to have peace with God, because we have the peace of God. And you'll never have the peace of God until you have peace with God. See if you can work that one out. Guys, have a fantastic day, and we'll continue on Monday, but have a great weekend. And don't forget to put on the gospel, the shoes of peace, keep you at peace no matter what the circumstances, no matter the challenges that Satan brings against you. Let's get out there and do a good job. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.
You hear me when I call. You are my morning sun. Though darkness fills the night, it cannot hide the light. Whom shall I fear? You crush the enemy underneath my feet. You are my sword and shield, though troubles linger near. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? I know who goes before me. I know who stands behind. The God of angel armies is always by my side. The one who lives forever, he is a friend of mine. The God of I know who stands behind. The God of angel armies is always by my side. Don't